perfectly as long as you're showing up. You got it. You got it. You got it. You can do this. Okay, ready? Hi everyone, it's Lauren. Welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy you're joining me. First of all, my upstairs neighbors are so loud, so if you hear them throughout this video, I'm sorry. They're always stomping and yelling and I'm just like, did you hear that? Anyway, so today I'm just gonna have you guys hang out with me while I do my skincare and my makeup and just give you life updates. Now, when I was preparing my notes for this episode, yes, I have notes. I did not want to miss any life updates, but I was thinking, I'm mostly making this video for myself because when I started my channel back in 2020, I intended for it to be just like a digital journal for me to watch later in life and just like, you know, reminisce. It's just cute to do that. Like every now and then I'll read through my journals from middle school and high school. It's so fun to see the world from my point of view in that time, like how I was feeling, what I was going through, who I was crushing on, who I was hanging out with. It's just so cute. And while I love writing and it's very therapeutic, I also love documenting my life through videos and pictures. So I've posted a few videos this year, but before that I hadn't posted since like May of 2021. May or June. And 2021 and 2022 were some of the most eventful and pivotal years of my life. There was just a lot that happened that I don't want to miss on my YouTube channel, if that makes sense. Like that's just a huge chunk of my life to just skip over. I don't want to miss it. So all these details are for future Lauren and for those of you watching. So let's get into it. By the way, I won't be going into detail of my skincare routine and makeup routine because I want those to be their own separate videos. So I guess you'll just have to stay tuned. Okay, anyway, so in 2021 and 2022 I traveled a lot. Like it was just so fun. I was in my travel girl era. The last video I posted before my little hiatus on YouTube, I went to LA with my best friend London. We came home from that trip and then the next day we went to New York, which was so fun. That was my first time in New York City. One sec, gotta rinse my face. Oh, I got some water dripping down my shirt. One of my highlights from that trip was seeing myself on a billboard in Times Square. That was actually insane. When we went to New York, it was around the same time that season 2 of High School Musical, the musical, the series, had just been released on Disney+. So there was a bunch of promo on the Disney billboard in Times Square, and there's just some clips of me and the other dancers and the actors dancing. It was just so cool. Like I would have never imagined being able to say like, oh yeah, I've first of all been on a billboard in Times Square, but to be able to see it live in action in front of my eyes, just the fact that I happened to be in New York the same time that the High School Musical promo was on the Disney billboard in Times Square, that timing was just magical. But yeah, New York was fun and it was just cool how we went but basically straight from LA to New York. And then a few weeks later, London and I spent a weekend in Scottsdale, Arizona, which was so fun. It was really hot, but it was a much needed just like go somewhere, relax, chill by the pool, go eat some yummy food kind of vacation. It was much needed. And then my family and I spent the 4th of July in Yosemite. It was so cool. We went with like all my cousins and my aunts and uncles. It was just a fun little family trip and the hikes there are insanely beautiful. The hikes we did weren't terrible because I requested that we don't because I absolutely hate hiking. Okay, I wouldn't say hate. That trip swayed me. I do enjoy hiking a little more and nature is just so beautiful. Gosh, the views there are insane and I just loved spending time with my family. And then London and I went to Florida for the very first time. We went to West Palm Beach and I fell in love with the ocean. Like the water in Florida is just insane. It's just so warm. It's just like a bathtub. I love it. And then I went on a girls trip to Vegas with 3 of my bestest friends, Araceli, Armani, and London. Which isn't that cute that it's A-A-L-L? Like I love that. We also have a best friend named Aaron, so he's also another A. It's just I love my best friends. Anyway, highlights from that trip. So we went because Armani and Araceli were going to see Harry Styles and London and I were like, oh, we'll just join, we'll make it a girls trip. So after they went to the Harry Styles concert, we all met up and went to a club. I forgot what it's called, but Lil Jon was performing and that was just so fun. He handed us shots while Shots was playing. How iconic is that? And then I went to Disneyland with two of my other closest friends, Madeline and Kennedy. I know them from High School Musical. Well, I grew up dancing with Kennedy, but they're my besties from High School Musical, and that was just so fun. I like Disneyland, the happiness it brings me. It's just warms my heart. I'm not a Disney adult, but sometimes I feel like I could be. In 2021, I turned 22, which I have to mention that because it was such a fun birthday. We had a pink birthday party. Pink is my favorite color, so everything was pink. Like I made everyone wear pink. The food was pink. The decorations were pink. I'm just extra like that. But I just like to make life more fun, you know? You gotta romanticize life. But I loved being 22. It's such a cute number. I was actually sad turning 23 because I was like, I'll never be 22 again. And there's no other age or number that is as cute as 22. But no, I'm loving 23 so far. I think my upstairs neighbor is taking a shower. I can hear their water running. My next update is that I lived in North Carolina for 2 months, which was 2 of the funnest months of my life, and I'm not even kidding when I say that. The reason I was there, I worked as a dancer on a movie. It's called Something Here. I'm not sure when it's coming out. It's such a fun film. It kind of gives Footloose vibes. Good old country town. It was so fun. I love Charlotte. That's where we stayed, and I lived with Madeline and Kennedy, our friends Chloe and Adam, and that was just really fun living with them. I loved that I got to work with 2 of my best friends, but I also met so many new people and made so many friends that I still keep in touch with today. It was just so fun because none of us, except for maybe like 2, were from North Carolina. Like we were all from all over, like New York, LA, Utah. So it's kind of just like a forced community. Like the only people we knew were each other. So we were all just hanging out, and we just had cute little Christmas parties and Thanksgiving. It was so fun. Oh, I would go back to it in a heartbeat. But yeah, I'm just so grateful that I got to do that job. Little me would be screaming to know that I worked on a movie as a dancer across the country like that. Oh, it was so cool. That was just another thing on the list that I would have never expected to happen in 2021 or maybe ever in my life. This next life update makes me want to cry. I became an aunt. My oldest brother and his wife and slash my cute sister-in-law, they had a baby boy. His name is Levi, and he's literally my favorite human ever. I'm not even kidding you. Anyone who knows me knows I'm obsessed with Levi, and I would drop anything and everything for him. I literally flew across the country from Florida to California just to hang out with my nephew because I just love him so much. He's so smart and he's so funny. I love his little personality. He's so sweet, but like so crazy. I don't know. He just does funny things that's just like, you're a silly kid. He's so funny. We'll play like little kid songs like Head, Shoulders, Knees and Toes, Wheels on the Bus, and he'll just be like, but then I'll turn on The Box by Roddy Ricch. That kid gets up, starts dancing, and like laughs. He loves that song so much. Every time I turn it on, huge smile on his face. It's the funniest thing ever. He makes being an aunt so fun, and I just love being an aunt because I one day want to have my own kids, but clearly right now I'm not ready to be a mom, nor do I want to be a mom right now. So it's just fun that I get to have my own little baby who's not really my baby, but he's my baby, you know? So that's everything for 2021, I think. I just want to say that 2021 was like such a pivotal year for me. I feel like I say that about every year, but in 2021 I really enjoyed myself, and that means a lot because I went through a horrible breakup in 2020 and just like didn't know who I was. I was so heartbroken and I just wasn't myself. But in 2021 I like started to shed those layers and like started to feel like myself again, or even just started to feel like a new human. I don't know, I'm still, it's complicated, but I love that I traveled a bunch in 2021 because I feel like those are experiences I never would have had my relationship worked out. I probably would have visited those places one way or another, but I wouldn't have experienced those trips the way I did had life turned out the way I wanted it to in 2020, if that makes sense. So yeah, I traveled a bunch, worked on a movie, which was so insane, and became an aunt. Wow, 2021 was a good year. Now, there were some hard moments, but that's life. Everyone has hard moments, even with all the good moments. Now, moving on to 2022. Oh, I forgot to mention, in 2021, I was living with my best friend Araceli and her husband Braxton, and I loved living with them. It's just so fun living with your best friend. So I was really sad to move out, but I was also really excited to move into my first big girl apartment. So So yeah, at the end of January of 2022, I moved to Salt Lake City in a cute apartment just in the heart of the city, and it was so fun. I was living with my best friend Madeline. She was such a fun roommate to have because she's from Ohio, so there was so much of Utah that she wanted to discover, and I'm always down for adventures and doing spontaneous things. So we were always doing cute roomie dates and just like finding new restaurants to try, finding new hikes. She mostly did that. I joined her for a couple. We went on walks together. I miss her. I love her so much. Madeline, if you're watching this, I love you. But yeah, our apartment was so cute. It was so nice, and I miss my bedroom so much because it had the biggest windows on 2 different walls. So I had all this nice natural lighting, which I love. So good for my mental health. And I had a great view of the city. I felt like I was living in a room that you see in the movies. But yeah, it was really cool just being in my first big girl apartment and actually feeling like an adult. And I did all the big girl things when I was living with Araceli, but there's just something about like living in the city, just doing things that like scared me when I was in high school and imagining adult life and just being like, that sounds so scary. Like not living with my mom and dad. Now, it was really fun, but the not so fun part is paying for rent and groceries and gas and just all the fun things, you know? I just realized that I did my sunscreen before my moisturizer. Ugh, you're supposed to do your sunscreen last, but I cannot be out here having my skin die of thirst because I forgot to moisturize it. So we're just gonna switch things up. This is the Lauren Carino Skincare Remix. Okay, I'll just put a little more sunscreen on top just because you never know. And then at the beginning of 2022, I really started taking social media seriously. So I just started posting a bunch more on Instagram and TikTok. I've been able to see a lot of growth since then, and I just look back on where I started and where I am now, and I'm just so thankful for how far I've come. I still have a long way to go. I'm still growing, but I'm just really thankful for how far I've come. It's just insane because when I first started my social media journey last year, I was a little discouraged because what I was dreaming of, like working with brands and having a growing following, like it just seemed almost out of reach because I don't know how to explain it. But I guess what I'm saying is it's just insane that I am now currently living what I dreamed of when I first started. I just like get emotional about it because I remember being so discouraged and almost like, I don't even know if I want to do this. And sometimes I still feel that way, I won't lie, because sometimes it is hard. But I'm just so thankful for where I'm at, and I'm just looking forward to see how much more I can grow and like what new creative ideas will come as I go along this journey. And you guys are a part of it, so thank you for being right here with me. But yeah, like I said, I love documenting my life, so it's just fun that I get to do that. Okay, now we're moving on to makeup, and I've switched where you guys are sitting. Just, you know, switch it up so you don't get bored of the scenery, even though we're in the exact same bathroom, but just a different angle. So more traveling in 2022. In February, London and I went to Europe. We visited Milan, Venice, Rome, and Paris, and it was so fun. The only bummy thing about it was we were both vaccinated. We just weren't boosted yet, and a lot of the places in like Paris required you to be boosted. So we didn't get to do a lot in Paris, but other than that, it was a really fun trip. That was my first time back in Europe since when I used to live there when I was younger. And I was really young. I lived there from like 2 to 6 years old, but I remembered a lot of it. It was just cool to see it in like my parents' point of view. Like, I don't know, it just felt like a full circle moment somehow. I don't know how to explain it. If you can't tell, I'm really bad at explaining my thoughts and feelings, but I hope you're following along. It was a really fun trip. The food was amazing. One of my comfort foods is pasta, and you know I ate that every day. And the pizza, so good. I went to California like so many times just to visit my family. One of the times it was super spontaneous. So I hadn't had tickets to Justin Bieber's tour yet, which I don't know why. Like, that's so weird and out of character for me. I was looking at his tour dates and I saw that like the following week he'd be in California at the stadium by where my family lives, and I was like, I have to go. Like, I'll have free lodging. I'm gonna force my little brother to go with me. So I bought us both tickets, and then I booked a flight and went to California to see Justin Bieber. If you know me, you know I've always been a believer. Like, I cried when I got tickets to see him one year for Christmas, but I became a super believer when I got to dance with him in 2016. So what I did for the concert last year was I kind of recreated the outfit I wore to dance with him. It wasn't the exact outfit, but it was just inspired by it. So that was just another cute full circle moment for me, and I'm really thankful that my little brother joined me for that. That was just a fun like quality time little brother-sister date with him. But yeah, that was a fun trip, just going home to visit my family and see Justin Bieber. I went to Vegas again with my friend Madeline. We went to visit our friend Rico, who had just moved there because he is dancing in a show out there. It's called Awakening. It's a show at the Wynn. It's really cool. We actually went to watch the show in January of this year, and it was a really cool show. And that was another fun Vegas trip. I actually did a vlog on that, and you should watch it if you haven't yet. But yeah, around that time was crazy because my friends Addie, Kennedy, Madeline, and Armani, we all went to see Olivia in concert, and that was such a good concert. I just love her so much, and she's so talented. But the morning after the concert, we drove straight to Vegas, Madeline and I, and then we came home, and then like the day after we came home, we went to the Chelsea Cutler concert. So it was just a lot of boom, 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 boom. It was a really eventful week, but it was really fun. And then in June, I went to Mexico with my mom and my little brother. Andre, my little brother, his birthday is June 7th and my mom's birthday is June 11th. So we went to celebrate their birthday. Don't ask me why I got to join and tag along. I literally had no reason to be there. It wasn't my birthday, but I'm so happy I got to go. That was my first time in Mexico. We went to Puerto Vallarta. Hopefully I said that right. It was really fun. We stayed on a cute resort and we just hung out at the pool on the beach every day. Just kept the piña coladas coming, the mint mojitos. Gotta love it. Oh my goodness. And then on my mom's birthday, we went out to the bars, which the bars are insane out there. We had to experience that. And I think the legal age in Mexico for like drinking and such is 18, and Andre had just turned 20. So I was like, we gotta take advantage of this because you can't do this in the States. So yeah, my mom was such a trooper. We all went out and we were out till like 4 in the morning. Like, that's another thing on the list of things I never expect to ever do in my life is go out to multiple bars with my mother and stay out till like 4 a.m. That was a really cool experience. There was a man that I like low-key fell in love with, and he was hanging out with me the whole night. He was beautiful. He was hanging out with me and my mom and my brother the whole night, and my mom was eating it up. There was one point, there was like this platform in the middle of the club, like you have to climb a ladder to get up to it. It was like this stage. And at one point it was just me and him dancing on the stage, and it was so cool. Like the whole club had their eyes on me. I felt like I was in a movie. But yeah, that was really fun. That was such an iconic moment. I'm so happy I got to share that with my mom and my brother. And then a few weeks after that trip to Mexico, I went on another girls trip with my best friends Araceli, Armani, and London. It was just so fun going to the beach. We went to this fun, like, it was a 2000s themed party. So they were playing like all the good throwbacks from like the early 2000s to 2010s. It was such a good night. We ate a lot of good food, hung out by the pool. You'll hear me say this a lot, but I just love my best friends so much. Like, we could just be sitting in a room and I'd just be content. Like, every moment with them is so happy and so fun. Like, I cannot imagine life without them. But after that girls trip, we were like, okay, we went to Vegas last year, we went to LA this year, like we should make this a tradition where we just go on a girls trip once a year. And I love that. Anything with traveling and my best friends, I'm there. I am so there. We haven't planned anything this year. We talked about going to New York, and I hope that still happens because that would be so fun. But yeah, stay tuned to find out where we go this year for our annual girls trip. Forgot to mention that while we were in LA, one of my closest friends that I met on the movie in North Carolina, his name's Jared. I am obsessed with him. I love him so much. But he lives in LA, and I hadn't seen him since we filmed the movie, so we hung out with him, and that was so fun. You guys, I wish everyone could know Jared personally, because he's just a warm blanket that also makes you laugh and also is down to have dance parties with you, and I just love him so much. He looks like Shawn Mendes. But yeah, he's one of those friends that I've kept in contact with since the movie, and he's still one of my closest friends. Like, even though we live on opposite sides of the country, like we keep in touch. Like, we FaceTime a lot and text a lot. Just so cute how friendship works like that. Like, when you really like someone and like care enough to keep them in your life, like you'll do anything. That's so adorable that humans do that. I just want to say, I hope you guys have made it this far in the video, because I feel like when I first started the video, I was a little shaky and nervous, which I was, because I don't know why, I always just get nervous and I get like stage fright whenever I start a YouTube video. But like once I get in the hang of things and start talking after a few minutes, like I'm good. My personality is 100% there. So hopefully I didn't bore you in the beginning. So yeah, I think that's all of the traveling I did in 2022, besides like going home to California for Thanksgiving and Christmas, which was so fun. Also, look at these random bruises I got on my arm. I don't know how or sure why they're there. I think I like really scratched myself really hard in the middle of my sleep. My skin's been really itchy lately because I have eczema. Anyway, that was a tangent. Oh, here's an update. I got diagnosed with ADHD at 22 years old. That was crazy. It hasn't been like life-changing, like having a diagnosis, but it kind of has been because everything growing up, it just makes sense now. Like, I was a good student. I got good grades. I had the brains. I felt like a lazy student because it was so hard for me to get work done. I always procrastinated, put things off to the last minute. Come to find out, I'm not lazy, I just have ADHD. Like, how crazy is that? I'm not on medication, but I need to be. I don't know why I told the doctor I didn't want to be on it. Like, why? I don't know why, but that's also been a process trying to figure out getting on those meds. But I have made it part of my personality, finding out that I have ADHD at 22 years old. I'm glad that I know now, but it kind of makes me sad for my younger self, like any version of my younger self, because it's just like, girl, life could have been so much easier for you had you just known. But it's okay. It happened. Now we know that I have ADHD. I mean, I've made it this far surviving without any meds or like knowing that I had ADHD. So like, I know I can live life, but it's just crazy to think that life could have been a little easier, you know? I don't know, maybe that just makes me better than you. I'm just kidding, I'm kidding. Okay, one of my favorite life updates of this video is I started a podcast with those same best friends that I go on an annual girls trip with. It's called No Fake Friends. In this moment, I can't remember why we chose No Fake Friends, but it makes sense. Like, none of us are fake friends, obviously. I don't really know how to explain our niche other than by saying it's just like sleepover girl talk. We talk about funny things, we talk about pop culture, but we also get deep. We talk about self-care, getting yourself out of a rut, mental health, like relationship advice, friendship advice, but then we talk about stupid things like would you rather or hit or miss or silly things that are going on in pop culture. I just think we have a perfect balance of fun and deep. So if you're interested, it's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and I believe Google Podcasts. But yeah, having a podcast with your best friends is just so fun because when we prepare our episodes and when we record our episodes, like we're all just, it's basically just hanging out but recording yourself and posting it on the internet for people to listen to. It's just added another element to our friendship. Like it's just another thing for us to look forward to together, which I love. The support we've gotten for our podcast within the last year has been just so amazing. There's some day one listeners who always comment on our Instagram or DM us, and it just makes us so happy. And I'll say it again, just the fact that I get to do it with my best friends, like, if you can't tell, I love my best friends so much. They are a huge part of my life and a huge reason for my happiness. I got really lucky with who I'm surrounded by. Another one of my favorite life updates, I worked on season 4 of High School Musical, the series, which is just so insane to say because being able to do season 1 was a dream and still is a dream. Like I think about it all the time, like how lucky I am to have been a part of this show. But if you were to tell season 1 me that I'd be working on season 4, I'd be like, what? We made it that far? That's so cool. Not that I ever doubted that it would, but it's just so cool to think about. So I worked on season 1 and season 2, and then I wasn't in season 3, but I loved that season. It was just so fun. Like I loved the summer vibes and the music was good. But yeah, season 4, we worked on it from like the end of September to mid-December. So a few months on set. Every day I would walk into rehearsal or on set and be like, wow, this is my life, this is my job. Like how cool is it that I get to go and hang out with some cool people who are also my friends. I'm like actually getting emotional thinking about it because I, like little dancer Lauren, always dreamed of working a job like that, and I just can't believe that was my reality for the last few years. Like, oh, insane. Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see season 4. It's so good, it's so fun. Like I had so much fun dancing and filming and just hanging out, so I can't wait to see it all come to life on TV. I actually got to spend my 23rd birthday on set. We were working on my birthday and I think we spent like 14 hours on set, but I was not complaining at all. Like, yes, I was working, but it didn't even feel like a job. It's just so fun, and you're basically just hanging out with your friends all day. Just like seeing the production of everything, like just seeing the camera work, the lighting, the music, the set design, it's all so cool. We're just really lucky with how cool everyone is, like between the cast and the crew. One sec, gonna do my lashes real fast. Okay, I'm back with lashes. I feel like working on season 4 was another full circle moment for me, and a lot of people on set. Like, there were people working on season 4 that worked on the original High School Musical movies. That's really cool. They're like the OGs. It's just really cool to think about because I was 19 when we first started season 1, and then I was 23 when we wrapped season 4. And it's just so crazy to see, like, we would look back at old pictures or old clips of different episodes and be like, oh my god, we're babies, look how grown we are now. That show has just, it literally changed my life, and I'm forever grateful that I get to be a part of it. Especially just like, you know, High School Musical was our childhood. I always got High School Musical things for my birthday and Christmas, and so just to say that I worked on the High School Musical series, insane, 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 insane. Like, it literally changed my life. I will say that forever and ever. It changed my life because it just provided so many opportunities for me, and I've met some of my closest friends. I've met so many new people, and it was just the experience of a lifetime. But yeah, that was a big highlight of 2022 for me. I'm just excited to see how season 4 turns out. I know it's gonna be great. Okay, this next update is a little silly. I know some of you are gonna think it's dumb, but I don't care. I became a die-hard Swiftie, huge Swiftie. Taylor is mother. Here's the thing, I've always loved Taylor Swift. I went to the 1989 tour and the Reputation tour, both amazing concerts. Yeah, I've loved her ever since I was little. Like, I remember listening to I'm Only Me When I'm With You in the car on the way to school. My first ever lyrical routine that I competed was to Love Story, which is still one of my favorite songs. But last summer, my life was changed for the better. One night, London and I were hanging out at my apartment, and I don't know how we got on the topic, but we were just chilling in my living room, and then we were listening to music, talking about just different artists, and then Taylor came up and we were like, we should like listen to her music and like read her lyrics as we listen. So what we did is we put the Spotify app on Roku. It has an option to show the lyrics as the music's playing, kind of like karaoke vibes. The whole night for like 2 hours straight, we just listened to, there was a playlist on Spotify of Taylor Swift's saddest songs, and we listened to the whole playlist, listened and read all the lyrics. After each song, we would pause, we would stop and analyze the whole song together and like talk about like what this line meant, what we pictured here, what Taylor means here, like how we relate to this line. And then that turned into like a hobby, and then like a true passion. At least once a month, London and I will sit down and have a lyric analysis night. And it's actually such a wholesome activity. I was a math girly growing up. I hated English, but if teachers were to have implemented Taylor Swift lyrics into our English classes, I would have been the best student in all of my English classes. I feel like a lot of people are just haters just to hate because she's Taylor Swift and she's a woman who's successful. That's a story for another day. And some people are just too cool because she's like mainstream and whatnot and overrated or whatever. But like, she is one of the best songwriters of this generation, maybe of any generation. No, not even maybe, she really is. Like, she is iconic, historical figure for sure. She should be in textbooks someday. Sometimes my brows are a hit, sometimes they're a miss, but today they're kind of looking like they're a hit. Anyway, so that was in July of last year. Not a day has gone by that I haven't listened to Taylor Swift. And it's kind of like taken over my life because she's like the only artist I listen to, really. Just kidding, I listen to other music too. I still love a bunch of other artists, but like, she is my number one. And I would have never imagined myself to be like a Swiftie. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I love her more than I love Justin Bieber. And that is saying something. I thought I was obsessed with Justin. I didn't know this version of me yet because I would do anything for Miss Taylor Swift. And I'm not even being dramatic. Her songwriting is literally insane. I love her lyrics. I believe she has a song for anyone to relate to. Whatever you're going through, Taylor has a song for you. I don't know, I just resonate with a lot of her lyrics and a lot of her music, and I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about her. I am just like word vomiting to you right now because I have so much to say about her, but I don't know what to say, so I'm just telling you whatever's coming to mind. She's on tour right now, the Eras Tour, and if the last few minutes of me telling you how much of a Swiftie doesn't paint the picture for you well enough, here's this. I am the kind of Swiftie that sat on someone's TikTok live and watched her concert through TikTok. And I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. She is just a genius in everything she does. Oh guys, I'm gonna spend like the last 15 minutes of this video talking about her. I'm just kidding, I won't. Keep watching, keep watching. There's just so much to her. Like, I've just been raving about her lyrics and like how she's relatable for anyone. It's a straight up cult, the Swift Nation. It's one I'm happy to be a part of. Just the way she does her Easter eggs and like how we all have these inside jokes. I sound like such a nerd, but it's okay. I just love Taylor that much. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking about it, but I'm seeing her this weekend in Tampa, and I'm seeing her twice in California. So I will be seeing the Eras Tour 3 times. That's how much I love her. I was crying last night listening to Champagne Problems because that's in my top 3 Taylor Swift songs. I've just been excited this whole time ever since we got our tickets, but like it really hit me last night that I will be in the same room as Taylor Swift while she sings the Champagne Problems bridge, and I will be singing it with her. I will get to hear her sing it live. I'm happy just singing it in my car alone with Taylor in my, like, blasting in my speakers, but the fact that I get to see her live, you guys, I'm so sorry to whoever is sitting by me and my best friends at the concert because we are about to go feral. Oh. She is mother, that's all I have to say. But yeah, I'm going to the concert with, again, Araceli, Armani, and London. Okay, moving on to my final life update. I've already like talked about this a little in this video, but I live in Florida. I live in Florida, Tampa, Florida. Isn't that insane? I live in Florida in case you didn't know. Did you know I live in Florida? I'm just kidding, okay. One thing about me is I'll be a joke to death. Okay, you actually don't even know. It's an inside joke with me and my friends. We always joke. I'll just tell you about them. It's me, London, Araceli, Armani, Erin. So AAALL. I already told you that. But we have this group chat that we talk in every day on Snapchat and on iMessage. It's the cutest thing. We always joke about how London and I are in like warm, sunny Florida, and those 3 are in winter, cold, miserable Utah. Okay, miserable sometimes. It's pretty there, but like what they're going through now compared to what we have here in Florida, I am not mad that I'm in Florida. But we always joke, they act salty. They're not actually salty, but in a joking way. They're like, whenever we send a Snapchat when we're at the beach or whatever, or we're saying we're going to the beach that day, or we're gonna go chill by the pool, one of them that lives in Florida will always be like, we get it, you live in Florida, we get it, you have the sun. And it's just so funny. And it's just one of those inside jokes that we have continually beat to its death. Like, I'm sure it's 6 feet under right now, but yeah. Guys, I live in Florida. I think I'm done with my makeup. I just have my lip gloss to do. But yeah, London and I moved here. We left Utah at the end of January. We got to Tampa February 1st. We road tripped from Utah to Florida. It was a 4-day road trip, and let's just say I probably won't ever do that again. It was fun and we made it through, but there were some moments that I was like, we're never gonna see the end of this. My parents helped us move across the country, which was really nice of them. Like, I'm super appreciative of them. Like, that's one of the nicest things anyone's ever done for me. Like, that was just such a huge thing for them to offer to do, is help us move across the country. So how it worked was my parents drove my car with all of my stuff. I rode with London in her car with all of her stuff. It was an experience for sure. I won't say it was completely miserable because there were some fun moments. Like, I got quality time with London and it was just fun hanging out with my parents for those 4 days. Yeah, so that's that about the road trip. I have a whole vlog about that, so go watch that. So why I'm here in Florida? Well, life is too short. It's too damn short to not do things you want to do, even if it's scary. London and I, for years now, had talked about moving somewhere by the ocean. We talked about San Diego for a second. We even considered Australia for a second, which I'm not opposed to doing someday down the road. We ended up landing on Florida because we knew we wanted to be by the ocean. That's why San Diego was in the picture. But I wanted to be somewhere with warm water, and I knew Florida had nice water because of that one trip we took in 2021. And I was like, okay, we should just move to Florida, which like sounded absolutely insane at the time, because just like moving across the country, just it's a big thing. It's scary, it's crazy. But yeah, we just wanted to be in the sun, and it was just like, why not? Let's stay there for a year and then see what we want to do from there. But so far, I haven't regretted it, and I can actually see myself staying here longer than a year. But yeah, I think I got to a point where I just outgrew Utah. I spent 17 years of my life there. I have some of the greatest people in my life, you know, just from living in Utah, obviously. I think it's beautiful. Living in Salt Lake, I'm thankful I got to experience like that part of Utah and that lifestyle in Utah. But yeah, just like I said, like I just outgrew it, and I just was ready for something new and exciting, and like something to like spark just new whatever in me, you know, like new lifestyle, new habits, new passions, new people. But yeah, I do miss Utah. Not necessarily Utah, but the people there. Like a lot of people I consider family are there, like my bestest friends, my dance friends that I grew up with. You know, I have my brother and my sister-in-law there. Like, there are people there that I miss. I was just ready for a change, and I'm young. I'm barely in my 20s. Now is the most perfect time to be picking up my life and just moving somewhere completely new and just starting a new life, because there's nothing tying me down. I'm not married. I don't have kids. I just have no responsibilities as far as like other people. Like, this is my time to be selfish and just focus on me while still like caring for other relationships and stuff, you know, but I'm really just focusing on myself and like doing what's making me happy and just finding what excites me the most in life. And wow, it's crazy. Like, I'm really proud that I decided to make the move here, because that was a scary thing to do, to move across the country, like literally across the country, in a place that I had only been to twice, a place where I don't know anyone, I don't know the surroundings. I know London, and I'm so thankful that I have her here with me. But that's a scary thing to do, and it's just like so out of my comfort zone. But you know, great things never come from comfort zones. So that was me making that leap out of my comfort zone, and I'm just so happy. Sorry, I gotta change my battery one more time. Okay, I'm back, and I fixed my brows a little. What do you guys think? Do they look good? Thanks. It's okay if you don't think so. I think they look good. I don't remember the last thing I said, so let me just tell you what's on my brain right now. It was really sad leaving Utah. I, of course, was so excited to move to Florida, just being by the beach and in warm weather. It's just something I've been looking forward to for a long time. But it was really sad leaving Utah, just because, like I mentioned earlier, just like leaving the people. Oh, my best friends live in Utah, and it was just so, oh, I'm gonna cry. It was so sad leaving them. The last month of living in Utah, we jam-packed like all our weekends, doing all these fun activities together, getting, you know, just getting in that last little bit of quality time before London and I moved across the country. It was really sad when we left. Like, the night before we left on our road trip, we all were just hanging out at London's house, and why am I getting emotional right now? We were all just like bawling, hugging each other, saying goodbye. And I'm like getting emotional because that was just like a really sad moment, and like leaving people you love and like having any sort of distance is just really hard. But I'm also getting emotional because I just like Anyway, I'm also getting emotional because I just am so thankful that I have people in my life that it's so hard saying see you later to. I'm not saying goodbye, because guess what? They're all moving to Florida too. Oh my gosh, that's why I've been like okay with the move, because right after our move, we found out that Araceli got a teaching job out here in Florida, literally an hour away from us. And we're like, that is insane. Of all places you could have gotten a job offer, you got one an hour away from us across the country. That just made our other best friends move by default, because we just all have to be together. It's just the way it goes. We don't make the rules, we just all have to be together. So yeah, that's what's been getting me through these last couple months, is just knowing that they're also gonna move here, which is, I feel like like London and I are cheating with this whole moving across the country, leaving our hometown and like all our loved ones and stuff, because our bestest friends are moving here. We get the best of both worlds. But yeah, that was really hard leaving them, and I still get sad that I don't get to see them in person and like hug them and just like be in their presence. It's been really cute. Like, we talk every day on Snapchat and Instagram, and we plan group hangouts on FaceTime, which is so cute. And I get to see the girls every week because we record our episodes every week over FaceTime. So that's cool that we've been able to coordinate that. I've mentioned my friends a lot and how much I love them, but that's just how much I love them. Like, I really love my relationship I have with them, and I just think it's so cute that even though we're thousands of miles away from each other, like, we still make an effort to like keep our bond like this. So cute, so lucky. Let me take this off. I don't need this anymore. Not doing my hair today because I'm too lazy. But yeah, London and I have had so much fun. Going out to the bars is so fun. We go to the beach at least once a week, which is so crazy that we can just casually be like, hey, do you want to go to the beach tomorrow? You can't say that in Utah. And I'm not bagging on Utah. Like, Utah has a lot to offer as far as like nature and soda shops. I miss those. And they have In-N-Out. Florida does not have In-N-Out. The life that I want to live, it's all right here in Florida. The only thing that's missing are my people, but that's okay. That's also been an interesting thing, is just like making new friends. I haven't really had to make new friends in the last few years, just because I've been so content with the people I have in my life. But yeah, I'm like getting a taste of like trying to make friends in your 20s, and it's really fun. It really gets you out of your comfort zone, because London and I, we're both socially anxious humans, but when we go out, we are the most social we've ever been, because when you don't know anyone it like forces you to go out of your way to introduce yourself to people and make new friends. So that's really cool. I feel like Florida's changed me in that aspect. I've created a lot of healthy habits, just like waking up early, going to the gym, going on walks, just doing a lot of things that are good for my mental health. But because I only truly know London here, I don't have a ton of distractions, which leaves a lot of room for me to just focus on me and like bettering myself and like growing in my career. It's been really good out here in Florida, and I love living with London. She's such a fun roommate. She is just as much a Swiftie as I am. We eat, sleep, breathe, live, love, laugh, Taylor. The amount of dance parties we've had in our living room, just like blasting Taylor Swift, singing all her most iconic bridges, like it's just so cute and wholesome. And I love going to the beach with her and like finding new restaurants and going on walks. Like we just have a lot of the same interests, so that's really nice. And she also does social media, so it's funny. I'll be making breakfast and she'll be making her coffee, and I'm like, oh, are you doing an ASMR video? And she's like, yeah. And so I'll just like chill for a second and like not talk or make any noises while she does her little clip. It's just, I love that we both understand each other. Like there's no, like we just get each other's work, we understand. It's nice because we both understand that we both need to like get pictures for something or videos for something, so we're each other's like cameramen. We do a lot of content days together. Like it's just, it's nice that we both can get work done together. But yeah, overall, I am really happy here in Florida. I feel like I went through a little rut just because it was like a lot of change all so suddenly, and like I miss my friends and my family, which is expected with any move. I guess the best way I could describe how I feel having freshly moved to Florida is this song by Gracie Abrams. It's called Right Now, and it's on her Good Riddance album that came out a few weeks after we moved to Florida. Basically, I'll read you some of her lyrics that I really resonate with. The chorus, she goes, I'm so high but can't look down, left my past life on the ground. My past life in Utah. Think I'm more alive somehow. I feel like myself right now. I really feel that. And the very first line of the song is, look at me, I feel homesick, which I am homesick. I'm not necessarily homesick for Utah, but I am homesick for the people I love. Like I'm homesick for my family in California. I'm homesick for my friends and family in Utah. So like that's a huge part of me that's missing. But like what the song says, despite all this change and like newness, being unfamiliar with my surroundings and like having a completely different life, I feel like myself right now. I don't know how to explain that. Like it's just like, it's a new me. I'm still the same me, but like at the same time a new me, and I feel like the most me I've ever felt, if that makes sense. Which I don't know how to explain why I feel that way, but I just do. This just feels right being here in Florida. I feel really good right now, and with the timing of when I moved to Florida, because my last few years in Utah, I went through a lot. This is just the fresh start that I needed. I'm in the making of a new chapter right now, and that's just so exciting. And I just love that I'm in a place where I am finally letting go of my life in Utah and whatever went on the last few years. But I still appreciate Utah and like my life there. And at the same time, I'm just like so excited for my life here in Florida, and I'm just so excited for what's to come. And yeah, this was fun to film. That was really fun and kind of therapeutic for me to just like recap my last few years. And I can't wait to watch this like a few years down the road and just be like, aw, aw, aw. You know, like just like reminiscing. And wow, life is good. Life is really good, and I'm really thankful for where I'm at today. And I'm thankful for everything that had to happen for me to get to where I am today. Anything good and bad, anything exciting and anything heartbreaking. Like I'm just so thankful for where I'm at today, and I just, But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me while I did my skincare and my makeup. Thank you for caring enough to know about what's been going on in my life the last few years. And if you choose to stick around for what's to come, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want, you can follow along on Instagram and TikTok. It's just at Lauren Carino. Hopefully I hit every update. Hopefully I said everything I wanted to say in the way that I wanted to say it. That doesn't always happen. If you made it this far, comment down below a major life update for you that like makes you really happy or has been really pivotal for you. I will read the comments and respond to all of them. I just love connecting with you guys, and I'm just so thankful, so thankful that you're here hanging out with me. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Live, laugh, love. Mwah.